The lack of entertainment, it makes the parents to entertain themselves through sex, and as a result, they bring in unplanned children. And now if you have to look at the people who are so poor, they are the ones who have got a lot of children that they fail to even take care of them. And also as the children are growing up, they are taught to beg. They grow up begging, or either the parents also, they are beggars in the street. And as these children are growing up, they learn knowing that the only way to get money is through begging. They are a pain in the neck. We look at that the society is tired of them. The neighbors are tired, and even the relatives, they are also tired. Whenever they see you, they shut their doors because they no more have got that strength. They no more have that love. They no more have that willingness to open the doors for you. So why do you not consider this aspect before you bring the child into the world? Why marry if you can't support yourself? Do you want to bring someone's daughter into poverty? And why do you have to bring a soul into this world when you are not able to support yourself and your wife? So today we'll be looking at the size of the family. Welcome to One Truth, and thank you for joining me today. And here we are building families for eternity. Are you new to the channel? Please consider subscribe and also give us a like. We'll greatly appreciate that. I am so delighted that you have welcomed me in the comfort of your homes, and here we will keep you motivated and encouraged. And so today we are on chapter 24, looking at Adventist home on the size of the family. Have you considered these aspects? And let's sit on the subject. A grievous wrong to mothers, children, and society. There are parents who, without consideration as to whether or not they can do justice to a large family, fill their house with these helpless little beings who are wholly dependent upon their parents for care and instruction. This is a grievous wrong, not only to the mother, but to her children and to society. Parents should always bear in mind the future good of their children. They should not be compelled to devote every hour to taxing labor in order to provide the necessaries of life. Before increasing their family, they should take into consideration whether God will be glorified or dishonored by their bringing children into the world. They should seek to glorify God by their union from the first and during every year of their married life. Children, yes, they are a blessing from God, but it is a sin to bring a child into this world when you are not able to support that child. So there is a number of things that need to be first considered before you bring a soul into this world. The mother's health is important. In view of the responsibility that develops upon parents, it should be carefully considered whether it is best to bring children into the family. Has the mother sufficient strength to care for her children? And can the father give such advantages as will rightly mold and educate the child? How little is the destiny of the child considered? The gratification of passion is the only thought, and the burdens are brought upon the wife and mother which undermine her vitality and paralyze her spiritual power. In broken health and with discouraged spirits, she finds herself surrounded by a little flock whom she cannot care for as she could. Lacking the instruction they should have, they grow up to dishonor God and to communicate to others the evil of their own natures, and thus an army is raised upon whom Satan manages as he pleases. Parents, it is of a great paramount importance that we consider the well-being of the parents, if also the mother is in a good health standard. And if not, then it's pointless, and it will be an army for the devil that will be bringing if we don't consider these aspects. And as a man, make sure that you don't unzip your trouser when you are not ready to take care of the family. Other factors to be considered. God would have parents act as rational beings and live in such a manner that each child may be properly educated, that the mother may have strength and time to employ her mental power in disciplining her little ones for the society of the angels. She should have courage to act nobly her part and to do her work in the fear and love of God, that her children may prove a blessing to the family and to the society. The husband and father should consider all these things, lest the wife and mother of his children be overtaxed and thus overwhelmed with despondency. He should see to it that the mother of his children is not placed in a position where she cannot possibly do justice to her numerous little ones, so that they have to come up without proper training. Parents should not increase their families any faster than they know that their children can be well cared for and educated. A child in the mother's arms from year to year is great injustice to her. It listens and often destroys social enjoyment and increases domestic wretchedness. It robs their children of that care, education, and the happiness which parents should feel it their duty to bestow upon them. The world is traveling in pain because the parents have failed to take their responsibilities, and now the devil is raising an army with these little ones that were brought to the earth without being prepared for. And we look at that. Parents, they fail to have their social enjoyments in this world because they did not have a proper plan for the children. Counsel to parents of a large family. The question is to be settled by you is, am I raising a family of children to strengthen the influence and swell the ranks of the powers of darkness? Or am I bringing up the children for Christ? And most of these kind of questions, they are little considered. If you do not govern your children and mold their characters to meet the requirements of God, then the fewer children they are to suffer from your defective training, the better it will be for you, their parents, and the better it will be for society. Unless children can be trained and disciplined from their babyhood by a wise and judicious mother who is conscientious and intelligent and who rules her household in the fear of the Lord, molding and shaping their characters to meet the standard of righteousness, it is a sin to increase your family. God has given you reason, and He requires you to use it. Fathers and mothers, when you know that you are deficient in a knowledge of how to train your children for the master, why do you not learn your lessons? Why do you continue to bring children into the world to swell the numbers in Satan's rank? Is God pleased with this showing? When you see that a large family will severely tax your resources, when you see that it is giving the mother her hands full of children, and that she has no time intervening between their beds to do the work every mother needs to do, why do you not consider the sure result? Every child draws upon the vitality of the mother. And when fathers and mothers do not use their reason in this matter, what chance is given to parents or children to be properly disciplined? The Lord calls upon parents to consider this matter in the light of future eternal realities. Most of the time, the children who get so wild, it is because the parents, they are forever busy with the cares of this world, and they don't have enough time to spend with their families. They don't have time to give good lessons to their children. You look at that, the father is forever on business trips, and the mother, she's forever with work. And as a result, they hire a maid. And as the maid is there, she teaches these children what she thinks. And as a result, the children, they lack a mother's love. They lack the role of the father to be played as they are growing up. And as a result, the devil enters in to raise these children for his kingdom. Economic considerations. Parents should calmly consider what provision can be made for their children. They have no right to bring children into the world to be a burden to others. Have they a business that they can rely upon to sustain a family so that they need not become a burden to others? If they have not, they commit a crime in bringing children into the world to suffer for want of proper care, food, and clothing. Those who are seriously deficient in business tact and who are the least qualified to get along in the world generally fill their houses with children, while men who have ability to acquire property generally have no more children than they can well provide for. Those who are not qualified to take care of themselves should not have children. The lack of entertainment, it makes the parents to entertain themselves through sex, and as a result, they bring in unplanned children. And now if you have to look at the people who are so poor, they are the ones who have got a lot of children that they fail to even take care of them. And also as the children are growing up, they are taught to beg. They grow up begging, or either the parents also they are beggars in the street. And as these children are growing up, they learn knowing that the only way to get money is through begging. And these children, as they grow up, they are a pain in the neck. We look at that the society is tired of them. The neighbors are tired, and even the relatives, they are also tired. Whenever they see you, they shut their doors because they no more have got that strength. They no more have that love. They no more have that willingness to open the doors for you. So why do you not consider this aspect before you bring the child into the world? How perplexity is sometimes brought to the church. Many who can but barely live when they are singly choose to marry and raise a family when they know they have nothing with which to support them. And worse than this, they have no family government. Their whole course in their family is marked with their loose, slack habits. They have but little control over themselves and are passionate, impatient, and fretful. When such embrace the message, they feel that they are entitled to assistance from their more wealthy brethren. And if their expectations are not met, they complain of the church and accuse them of not living out their faith. Who must be the sufferers in this case? Must the cause of God be saved and the treasure in different places exhausted to take care of these large families of poor? No. The parents must be the sufferers. They will not, as a general thing, suffer any greater lack after they embrace the Sabbath than they did before. When we evaluate looking at these poor large families, they expect a lot from their wealthy brethren in the church. And if they are not given to the way that they have been expecting, they tend to complain a lot, saying that their brethren are not living to the standard, while at least they are the ones who have come with a problem. And now as they are having this problem, they throw a live snake on their brethren. And the brethren also, they are also human, and they will get tired of it. And why do we have to overburden the church of things that could have been avoided? How missionary service may be restricted. In sending missionaries to distant countries, those men should be selected who know how to economize, who have not large families, and who, realizing the shortness of time and the great work to be accomplished, will not fill their hands and houses with children, but will keep themselves as free as possible from everything that will divert their minds from their one great work. The wife, if devoted and left free to do so, can, by standing by the side of a husband, accomplish as much as he. God has blessed a woman with talents to be used in his glory in bringing many sons and daughters to God. But many who might be efficient laborers are kept at home to care for their little ones. We want missionaries who are missionaries in the fullest sense of the word, who will put aside selfish considerations and let the cause of God come first, and who working with an eye singly to his glory, will keep themselves as minute men to go where he shall bid and to work in any capacity to spread the knowledge of the truth. Men who have wives that love and fear God and that can help them in the work are needed in the missionary field. Men who have families go out to labor, but they do not give themselves entirely to the work. Their minds are divided. Wife and children draw them from their labor and often keep them out of the fields that they might enter where it not that they think they must be near their home. I hope and pray you benefited from this presentation, and I would love to request that you do a few things, which is to subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and that will help us with the YouTube algorithm so that we will be able to reach a number of people, and your like will make a difference. I look forward to seeing you on the next presentation as we will be looking at caring for the needy children. Make sure you don't miss out. See you there.